Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 22 with me, Dan, and the Slothz Tech BMW team as we move over to reliability and quickly pick up an upgrade to the facilities, hopefully being able to buy a few more upgrades each race. Moving over, there's an ice upgrade which failed, and we'll be picking that one up, and we should get that before the next Grand Prix. Moving forward one day, the MGU-H also fails. This is despite the fact that the only high morale department is the reliability department. How odd. Anyway, moving on. Personnel department event to basically take away 7 focus from Lando Norris and gain 600 resource points. In hindsight, probably should do that. It might help with the championship, but we decided to do the team play and decline it. Carried on, there's our durability upgrade spec 2, the fabrication. There's the ice reliability upgrade, and we'll be able to pick up, I think, a couple more before the season break. Going through the list, we've got the MGU-K next. Let's get for that one. And also the turbo as well. That's another one which we could do with having. Okay, there we go. MGU-H has finished testing and completed. But we haven't actually got enough resource points to go and pick up another one, so we're going to have to leave that there and try and get as many resource points as possible in practice, which is coming up just now. And as per usual, the standard strategy will be to pick up as many of the 100% points as possible. Although we don't necessarily need them, it would be nice to have no penalties this season and try and get to the end of the season without having to take any new parts, which will be quite helpful for beating Norris. Unfortunately, we have to take into account that every time we do improve the reliability of the car, we're also reducing the amount of chances that Norris has to retire and for us to catch up quite significantly in the championship. Quick flash through, nothing more to pick up there. On to P3, where we're going to have to selectively pick what discounts we want. We're going to go with the MGU-H first, then electrical systems. In prior games, the control electronics used to dictate kind of wear on other units in the power unit. I'm not sure if that's still the case, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Flashing through here, we're going to go for another electrical systems 25%. We do get it, and then we head back out of practice over to R&D for one last time, and we'll pick up the control electronics just in case. Well then, here we go for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Historically, I think we've been getting worse at this race for every instance that we come here, and for me personally, this is dropping down the order towards the bottom. In my opinion, it is almost certainly one of my least liked circuits in the game now, but is included here just to see if I could do it one more time and actually try and win. Anyway, like this video, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell if you would like to see more of me either winning races or just completely bottling them. And we'll see which one of these it will be today here in Azerbaijan as we get onto the starting grid after we stop looking at pictures of Baku. And here we go with the starting grid. Once again, it is Lando Norris alongside former teammate Fernando Alonso. The McLaren's making some technological gains this weekend. Then we have Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc and George Russell. Pierre Gasly and Liam Lawson, followed by Lance Stroll, and then we round out the top 10. Then we have Esteban Ocon and Carlos Sainz, Yuki Tsunoda and Alex Albon, Kevin Magnussen and Oscar Piastri. From here, all of the rainy qualifying laps, Nicholas Latifi, Robert Schwartzman, Teo Porcher, Mick Schumacher, Dan Tickton and Zhou Guanyu all setting slow times after the Q1 rain. And we'll go down to the grid to have a look around at what kind of useful information we're going to be told about today. There are the points that Norris has picked up in the past 3 rounds. 2 26s. Not a bad result. I would kill for that right now. Looking at the championship there, 51 points clear is Lando Norris over us. Right then, it's 5 red lights, and away we go for this Grand Prix, which will absolutely be replaced in F1 23 by someone like Losail, or even Paul Ricard if I'm feeling really generous. Through turn 1 we go. Esteban Ocon trying to break his way into the top 10, but now he has to contend with Carlos Sainz behind him. We're playing it safe for the time being, not getting too agitated on the brakes. And we follow Liam Lawson through here. Amazingly, actually got through Q1 with the rain. And into the braking zone we go, up the inside of the Mercedes, and we take the place away. Looks like Pierre Gasly's getting out of sorts there, going defensive as well. But yes, Q1 was raining, and I'm not very good in the rain, but somehow it dried out by the time the final laps were going through, and I was able to get a dry lap in and break into the top 10. Unfortunately, Robert Schwartzman just didn't really do too well, and that's why he's all the way back at the bottom of the field. This is lap 2. George Russell, the Mercedes, a car which seems to have just forgotten to actually do any kind of development whatsoever. And in the slipstream with the ERS, we're red barring or purple barring here, but we get past him just before the yellow flag, then green flag. Conditions apply, and we managed to get him by drifting the car very slightly and causing him to get scared. Looking at the mini-map, we've got a Haas pulling off of the road, and also an Aston Martin in the pit lane. There we go, confirmation that Kevin Magnussen is indeed out of the session, and we rejoin on lap 4 in the rear view mirrors of Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari, running the hard tyre off the start. In theory, should be a very easy overtake, but whatever it is with this setup, it has zero traction, and also really struggles to overtake Ferraris here, and we're just about close it in, but bail off and come into the pit lane. Other than us, we've got there's Lance Stroll in with us, Russell behind, and I'm trying to figure out if that's Gasly. I think it is Gasly in as well. But Lando Norris has been in to sabotage our efforts, and the pit crew are still figuring out how to get out of the way, and that has cost us some time there. We're still ahead of Russell. Here we go then. One lap later, let's see what we can do on this out lap. There's a few cars in the pit lane right now. Russell is struggling to gain on us, so we don't have to worry about him. And we cover out turn 1. There is Charles Leclerc still ahead of us now on the medium tyre. So you do have to wonder why on earth he even bothered with the hards. And once again, one lap later, over half our ERS gone. We do set the fastest lap, but we're still struggling to get up to the back of this Ferrari. There's a bit of traffic ahead, which might help keep Stroll boxed up. But right now, it's not being particularly handy. And look at this. It's just all of the back markers that the AI are used to getting trapped behind. And because they're trapped and I can't overtake Charles Leclerc, we're basically the latest member of the Aston Martin train. Unsurprisingly, up ahead is Zhou Guanyu leading the pack. And as the slowest driver in the slowest car, he's not exactly helping matters. So as we come down towards the notorious turn which destroys cars, let's see if Charles Leclerc, he goes for an overtake on Tictum, doesn't get it. Oh, we got debris on the circuit already. There's 2 cars with no front wings. That's Théo Pourchaire and the other Audi, our former teammate. We've got a virtual safety car out. And well, that's completely screwed up our chances of getting past on the straight. This is Pourchaire. Oh, he locks up into the corner, saves it, but then that must be Pierre Gasly on board with him now. And was hoping that Pourchaire could perform a bit of a mime and make himself disappear. Unfortunately not. Virtual safety car comes to an end in the worst section of the track, and now we have to try and get past all of this lot again. Basically, no one has come into the pit lane that we wanted to, so we're still trapped behind a load of cars that are going quite slow.
Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake.
Some excellent words from our engineer there, who's stated the absolute obvious. We come through into the final couple of corners before the long straight. Surely Leclerc will give us the toe pass, Tictum, and then we can get past him as well. Down towards the DRS, so we go then. Leclerc already gaining on Tictum. He moves out of the slipstream. He's going to open the DRS, and then we get the toe from the Ferrari now, who's twitching, trying to figure out which way to go. But we take the position away. Defending to the outside. Leclerc is forced to back off, and we now sit in the wing mirrors of another Ferrari, our former teammate Carlos Sainz, who moved back to Ferrari after a sabbatical at BMW, and once again repeats the same process. We've got 5 laps to go. We're still staring at a Ferrari, and we've still got Lance Stroll in front of us. And this is Stroll now being overtaken by Sainz, who started on the medium, is now running the hard, the soft even. Gets past him fairly easily. We're still stuck in the train behind. But Stroll appears to have been compromised. Through turn 1, it's allowed us to catch up, and we're well within DRS range now. We get the toe. Go to the outside of Stroll now. Can we make it through? Not before the corner. Stroll has the inside. We're going to have to try and pull the same manoeuvre on him now as we come into the second part of this chicane. Through we go. And that is P6 taken away as we drive past the shops called Chocolate and Beauty. Fantastic stores. Everyone needs to go visit. Rejoin on lap 13 as Leclerc and Stroll bicker away in the background to figure out who is going to finish P7. Everyone in front of us pretty much running the soft tyre now has made it impossible to catch up. Somehow Lando Norris is 13 seconds ahead of Max Verstappen. Fernando Alonso, the only other person who actually stood a chance of trying to get up to the back of Norris, 9 seconds behind. I mean, part of that could be put down to the virtual safety car timing, and Alonso could have been trapped a little longer behind someone. Norris may not have been, but this was not a good race as we run over the curb. It's not going to make any difference whatsoever now. But a terrible race, and with these cars, hopefully it changes on F1 23. I will be giving it a chance, but probably not immediately. Hopefully the traction is fixed, because, oh my god, the amount of lockups and wheel spins on this circuit has just gotten more and more ridiculous the more of these races that we've done here. It's gotten to the point where I'm kind of just fed up with this circuit at this point. I used to like it quite a lot. Now, not so much. Maybe it will change. We'll have to see. As we power down the final straight, approaching the finish line. Everyone else is already finished at this stage, so it doesn't really matter. And we cross the line. We have a massive accident over the finish, because why the hell not? And everyone else flies by. Massive DRS train there, which hasn't really helped anybody out whatsoever. But what can you do? Trapped that far back. And when your teammate beats second place by 9 seconds, again, another 9-second lead when he finished the race. Things are looking a bit dire. He taunts us with a quick jump into the air and takes a trophy, which we've still yet been able to claim. So he extends his lead in the Drivers' Championship. We'll see by how much in a moment, and it's looking a little bit more dire each race. And here we are with the final results. There we go. Lando Norris finishing nearly 10 seconds ahead of Fernando Alonso. Behind those two, we had Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez. We finished with the fastest lap in 6th. Then Lance Stroll, Charles Leclerc, George Russell, and Esteban Ocon. Over to the Drivers' Championship now. Lando Norris is 67 points clear of us in first. Then behind us we had Max Verstappen moving up to joint third with his teammate Sergio Perez. Behind them Charles Leclerc and Robert Schwartzman, Fernando Alonso, Carlos Sainz, George Russell and Liam Lawson. Further down the order we have Pierre Gasly, Lance Stroll, Esteban Ocon, Kevin Magnussen, Yuki Tsunoda, Alex Albon, Nicolas Latifi, Teo Pourchaire, Zhou Guanyu, Oscar Piastri, Mick Schumacher and Dan Ticktum. And onto the constructors, BMW of course extend the lead yet again over rivals Red Bull, but McLaren draw level with Ferrari in third. In fifth we have Mercedes, then Ford, AlphaTauri and Alpine, then Haas, Williams, Aston Martin and finally Audi. That's all for this race. We'll catch you next time in Canada.